Hello friends, welcome to my channel Language and Life Skills. I am Matthew Antikanin. Today let us hear the story of The Merchant of Venice of Shakespeare, this well-known play. Antonio was the famous merchant of Venice, a great shipping tycoon with many ships doing business in many parts of the world. He was a very wealthy man. He had a young friend called Bassanio, a gallant, a great lover, but poor in the means of the world. But Antonio was ready to help him with any amount of money for his romantic advantages. And this young gallant Bassanio was in love with a rich heiress called Portia, who lived in Belmont. Portia was the only daughter of a very rich man who had passed away, and she lived with the servants at Belmont. Now, before he died, Portia's father had made arrangement for her marriage. He had decided how she would choose her husband. Accordingly, he had arranged a set of 3 caskets, one of gold, one of silver, and one of lead. And one of them contained her portrait. Any suitor who wanted to marry her would have to choose one of those caskets, and if he chose the right one, he would be able to marry her. And Portia would have no his choice than to accept him. Now, if they made a wrong choice, they had to remain bachelors all their life. This was a very hard condition, and so many suitors met her and went back disappointed. She had suitors from all over the world, kings, princes, nobles, men of great wealth. And Bassanio was one of them, and she fancied Bassanio, and she hoped that he would be able to choose the right casket. Now, Bassanio needed a lot of money, and he asked his friend Antonio. Unfortunately, at this time, all the ships of Antonio were gone far away from Venice, go to distant countries, and they would not come back for about 2 months. So to raise the money, he went to Shylock, the money lender, the Jewish money lender, and asked him for 3,000 ducats. Now, Shylock had a very ancient grudge against against Antonio, because Shylock lent out money at very high interest, at exorbitant interest. And Antonio was a kind man. He gave out money, he lent money with no interest. So this was a great occasion for Shylock to take his revenge on Antonio. He said, I'll give you 3,000 ducats, okay, which you should pay back in 3 months' time. And if you default on payment, then I will cut off 1 pound of flesh from your body. He said, just a merry bond, because we are friends. And Antonio gallantly signed that bond. Now Bassanio, now well equipped, went to Belmont to his lady love, Portia, and he was really successful. He chose the right casket, which was the lead casket, and Portia was overjoyed. And he gave him a ring, an engagement ring, which he should never lose or give away to anyone. Just as they were celebrating in view of the marriage, very bad news arrived from Venice, and that was that Antonio was not able to pay back his loan. All his ships had been lost at sea, and now Shylock was demanding his pound of flesh. Saddened very much to hear this, Portia offered even 6 times the amount to Shylock, but he would not accept. So now Antonio was in trouble, and his friend Bassanio rushed to Venice to help him out. And Portia and her maid told Bassanio that they would spend time in a monastery till the lovers would be able to come back and celebrate the marriage. Meanwhile, actually, Portia sent for the lawyer's robes and books from a learned lawyer called Bellario. And she went to Venice disguised as a lawyer, as a male lawyer. And she appeared in the court of Venice in defense of Bassanio. Here it is that we have got the famous speech of Portia about the quality of mercy. She appealed to the Jew to show mercy. And she said he could take 6 times the amount that was offered to him. But he refused all this. And Portia said we have to allow his claim. And the Jew was very happy. And he got ready to cut off the pound of flesh. He was whetting his knife. And just then Portia told him about a Venetian law, which says if any alien, any foreigner, any non-Christian plotted against the life of a Christian and shed his blood, then he would forfeit his life and all his property. Oh, Shylock felt very sad and betrayed. He wanted to retreat from the case. But there was no chance of doing this. He had plotted against the life of Antonio, a Christian, and court ordered that half of his property would go to the state. The other half would go to his daughter Jessica, who had abandoned him and married a Christian. Now, Bassanio was very happy with the outcome, was overjoyed and was overflowing with gratitude to the lawyer, Portia, who was disguised. And he asked the lawyer how much money he could give him. He was ready to give any amount of money. She said, I would not take any money, but give me that ring on your finger. Bassanio was very reluctant to give that, but she persuaded him to give the ring. And then she went back to Belmont. And afterwards, when Bassanio went there, he had a tough time in explaining to her how he parted with the ring. The play ends with the joyful wedding of Portia and Bassanio, and also Portia's maid Nerissa Graciano, Bassanio's friend. Let's see now a few comments about this play. The Merchant of Venice is one of the popular, well-known romantic comedies, like As You Like It, Much Ado About Nothing, etc. In these kind of romantic comedies of Shakespeare, the heroine has got scintillating wit and resourcefulness, far above that of the hero. In this play, Portia dons the legal robes with great aplomb and competence. And so, this is a real defeat of the Victorian saying, women are to be seen, not to be heard. In this play, there is a sharp conflict, contrast, clash between religion, culture and values. Christian culture, Christian values against Jewish values. The generous Antonio and the blind-hearted Jew Shylock. The undercurrent of all this play is really business rivalry more than religion. Shylock lent money at very great interest, very high interest. He pleased people. Antonio was very kind and lent money for no interest. So there was a great conflict, business conflict between the two, and Shylock hated Antonio. Business rivalry always or often leads to deep-hated crimes and other consequences. Another sidelight of this play is the place of minorities, role of minorities in a majority culture. Here, Shylock was a Jew, tolerated as a Jew because they lent money, but they are not accepted as full citizens. They were hated and abused in the marketplace. And Antonio was a child of his times. He also showed a public contempt for Shylock. This play also sheds light on great deep friendship between men. Here, Bassanio and his friend Antonio. This deep friendship between men can sometimes cause misunderstanding in the domestic area, misunderstanding with their wives, with their partners. And the last word is about 3 caskets in this story. This story of the 3 caskets contains nuggets of wisdom, great wisdom. It is a paradigm of cherishing true and deep values against show and appearance, symbolized by the precious metals, gold and silver. Portrait of Portia was kept in the simple, prosaic leaden casket. And this play is memorable for those words, for that line, all that glitters is not gold. And that's the line we can carry away and store in our memory from this play, The Merchant of Venice. Friends, if you like this presentation, subscribe. So bye until we see you another time. Bye.